Hey guys, it's Kim Jong Spoon, and today we are going to be looking at the Tier 8 German medium tank, the Panther II. The Panther I and the Panther II are both regarded as quote-unquote bad medium tanks. They're relatively slow, they don't have as good DPM as their competitors, and they're very big targets. However, I have enjoyed both of them. I will also post a link to the Panther I gameplay video that I've made in the description to this video, so you guys can check out that one. But both the Panther II and the Panther I play very similarly. They are pretty much the same hull with a different turret and a different gun. The top gun on the Panther II is the long 88mm gun that is used on the Tiger I. So it is the top gun on a Tier 7 heavy. However, on the Tiger it has much less rate of fire than on the Panther II. So we're here on mines, we've taken the hill, and I'm putting myself in a position to just completely destroy this T-44. I don't have quite as good DPM as, say, a Pershing or a Centurion 1, but it's good enough to just completely decimate these tanks. The sides of Tier 6s are easy prey for this gun. We do have just over 200mm of penetration with our standard AP ammo, and quite a bit with our armor-piercing composite rigid. So, we've taken the hill, and behind me, it's hard to see pretty much, there's a Panther I. Panther I and I are going to have some disagreements over what positions we are taking, and really he just gets in my way the entire game. He's blocking me here. He is actually using the short 88mm gun that has horrible penetration, so he has no chance against the front of an IS-3. This IS-3 is pretty torn though. He's got guys to his right, he's got guys to his left, so no matter which way he faces, he's got tanks firing at him. We bounce one shell from his side. That's because his shell did not overmatch our side armor, but don't expect to be bouncing anything in your Panther II. IS-3 goes down, they've got tanks on the other side. We'll see if we can lob a shell at this T-29 here. Nope, looks like he's pulled back into cover. But there is this SU-100 right here. Put one into him, and these guys have completely ignored us. We've only taken one hit when we were coming up the hill, and the Panther I nudged me right as I took that shot, so my aim was off even though I still hit him. And that's it, we've only taken one shell this entire game. Finish off the SU-100. Actually, no, the Panther finished him off. Interesting. And now we're going to switch to the T-44. Our T-29 calls for help because the T-24 is bum rushing him, so we're going to say affirmative, and we're going to come down and help him out. T-44 looks like he's running, so we're going to go chasing after him. That one misses, but our tank does weigh a substantial amount. We're going pretty fast, so let's just ram him to death. Probably a bad ramming trade. We took more damage than we dealt, but YOLO. T-34-45 has completely base swapped with us, and we get to kill him. 3 kills. Can we kill the T-34? Let's find out. Looks like he's looking at us. Put one in, switch to APCR. I really want this kill. Top Gun's mine if we get this kill. And it's not to be. T-29 gets the kill on the T-34. 3 kills, tons of damage. Let's see how we did in the post-game stats. So, Master Badge, 3rd class, just over 2,000 damage, but that was not a very good game. So, let's jump straight into a 2nd class game. Mastery Badge 2nd class in this tank is a rare occurrence for me. I get a 3rd class almost every game because people don't like it, so they have horrible games in it. But 2nd class is much more difficult, which leads me to believe that there are some competent players who are playing in this thing. So I said all go right. I'm platooned up with Sebastian 1145. He's in his ISU 152. The reason I said all go right is they only have low-tier slow tanks. We have high-tier slow tanks. So what we can do is we can take this side and then turn around and deal with the mediums behind us. As the only medium, I wasn't going to go alone against their mediums, but it turns out that they almost all went over here. So I've pushed forward pretty aggressively and scouted all of these guys with proximity scouting. Proxy detecting or proximity scouting is where if you get within 50 meters of any tank, you and that tank both spot each other. No matter if you're behind cover, it doesn't matter what the situation is. If you are within 50 meters of an enemy tank, you will be spotted. So what I'm doing here is I'm within 50 meters of all of these guys, so even though I don't have a line of sight at the guys below the hill, I'm within 50 meters of them, and therefore I can spot them. This game's also really interesting to watch because I make tons of mistakes. So let's take a look at the mistakes that I make and analyze them. So right here I'm over angled. I aim for the Tiger II's weak spot and I miss. So I'll load some of my APCR, and I should have been angling here. I was moving back and forth to try to bait his shot, but I was too exposed, and we take a shot. We bounce one off of his upper plate. We should have aimed for his lower plate instead. But I am communicating with Sebastian 1145 and said, "Hey Seb, can you put one into the Tiger II?" He says, "Yeah, let me move up first." So he's pretty far back. I'm going to have him move up to support me, and he takes out the Panther M10, who actually went in front of the Tiger II. Their Tier 5, who's in a failed platoon, VK3001H, is being blocked by their Tiger II, so we can put 2 shots in, taking out half of himself. And now we have a Yag Tiger 88 coming over the hill. I said, "Seb, can you help me out?" He said, "Yep." Takes him out. So this tag team is really important. I am luring them out. I'm on pretty low health. I'm luring them all out of their cover, and Seb can put shots in. So even though I'm not getting any spotting damage or anything, because Seb's spotting them when they come out, it doesn't matter. We're doing more damage to the team, and we're luring them out of their strong position here. So I'm going to push these guys. They have a Tiger II, which now is a horrible shot. I should have actually aimed for his side armor instead of his tracks. They have a Tiger II, a VK3001H, and an SU-152. So I tell Seb over Skype, "Alright, let's attack these guys. You can one-shot that Tiger II, then I can take out the rest of them." He's on 2 kills already. I've done a ton of damage. I'm side-scraping here. Tiger's fired. I'm not going to pull out in front of those guys. Don't want to take any more damage than I have to. I'm really just trying to bait these guys' shots off my side armor. Because at that kind of angle, their caliber guns won't overmatch, and so they will just ricochet no matter what. So that shot was aimed at the turret roof of the Tiger II. What I should be aiming for is the commander's hatch. That was at the front of the turret of the Tiger II, which will not penetrate. That's the commander's hatch that will penetrate. So Seb's also on low health, so we want to be very careful here. If we both die, they have a much better chance of winning, and it turns it into a 3-on-3. So I'm side-scraping here, trying to get better shots at these guys. Tiger II turns his turret, commander's hatch, and we take a shell from... That was either the Tiger II or the SU-1. That was probably the Tiger II, considering we didn't take any module damage. Seb kills the Tiger II, their VK's down, and we can finish off the SU-100. SU-152, excuse me. So, post-game stats, that was a second-class Confederate steel wall. We both did 2,000 damage, which was pretty good. That tag team action worked really well. But now let's take a look at a Master Badge first-class game. I have gotten an ace tanker in this. It took 4,000 damage and a ton of spotting damage, which again leads me to believe that there are some competent players playing in this thing. But anyways, this is going to be one of our first-class games. That last game and the game before, we did just about 2,100 damage. This game we'll do like 100 damage less, but we'll get our Master Badge first class, and we'll explain the reasoning behind that afterwards. It's not just the raw damage you do, it's the tier of the tank that you do that damage to. So dealing damage to tier 10s gets you more XP than dealing damage to tier 6s, because they're more important targets and they're in fact harder to do damage to. Like E100s are harder to penetrate than tier 6 mediums, which is balanced. That's how it should work. Anyways, we are pushing up on the hill. We're calling for help because I don't want to take on a T-62A and a T-54 all by myself. There's a T-62A, and I've got some friendlies coming up here. We've got a Yag Tiger and a Yag Panzer E100. Object 268 is not pleased that our Yag Panzer E100 is coming up to the hill, but it is the right thing to do. If we lose the hill, we have tier 9 and 10 Soviet medium tanks are rampaging through our base and behind us, so it's very important that we kill these guys, because then we can move to the town and kill those guys. So T-54 is not thinking. He doesn't have the gun depression to hit us, and he was blocking his T-62A friend. Put one into the T-62A side armor, and now we're going to focus the T-54. We don't want him to circle his our Yag Panzer E100, and in retrospect, we probably could have focused on the T-62A, because this guy does some strange things. Not sure he has a lot of experience in the game. He's not circling, he's just sitting on the hill, in completely side on. He's not tracked at the moment. He's just completely side on to us. And with his pretty strong armor, we could easily bounce off of him. He could easily bounce our shots. Wish to the T-62A. Don't want him to circle us. But we said, you know what, screw it. We're going to kill his T-54. Bam. Upper plate at an angle. We kill him, and the T-62A is circling us. Backfire. Oh, that one missed. He barely scrapes by us. If we move forward, we probably could have ram killed him. And we get the kill. Right in the back. Don't know why he stopped there, but we get the kill anyways. Our town's looking pretty good, but the only tank unspotted on the enemy team is an Object 704. There he is. Object 704 has pretty strong armor, and it also has a BL-10 gun, so it can easily pen us. Might even be able to overmatch our side armor, not sure yet. Track him in place. Hopefully our friendlies can take shots at him, but looks like they can't, and now he's come down after me, so I am not too stoked to take a 152mm shell. He completely misses. We completely miss, but that's a much shorter reload time for an 88mm as opposed to 152mm. We switch to our APCR rounds. We want to penetrate. That one was an interesting shot. I think it's because I hit the berm, and then because of the ping delay, it flew high. But anyways, our reload speed's pretty good, so we can punish this guy. He's focusing on our Yag Tiger. I'll put one more in. Bam, track him, and our Yag Tiger will finish him off. So we got that assisting damage. Now there's just an E3 left. He's getting completely surrounded. Got an E75, looks like to his rear, an IS-8 to his front. E75 put a huge shell into him, and we're racing back. There's no chance we're going to get to this guy. Yeah, he's dead. No chance we were going to get to that guy, but might as well try. Post-game stats, Master Badge First Class, and we got 2 kills. That medal is the I can't remember what that medal is called, but it's for killing 2 enemies 2 tiers higher than you in a, or sorry, 1 tier higher than you in a medium tank. So Panther II, how do I feel about it? The Panther II is a very capable tank if you know its strengths. The Panther II is not designed to circle. It's pretty bad at circling. It has bad track traverse, it has bad mobility. It really is kind of like a heavium in tier 8 games. So in tier 8 games, like the game that this screenshot was taken from, I used the Panther II as a heavium. I bounced shots, I was stuck in, and it turned out that it worked fine. In a tier 10 game, that would be a stupid idea, because a Jagdpanzer E100 would overmatch my side armor, and I'd be dead. So, you really have to play this tank differently depending on which type of battle you're in. Tier 10, really have to play it as a sniper or a flanker, but in a tier 8 game, you can really make a huge difference in the outcome of the battle, because you do have pretty good DPM, you can bounce some stuff, and you weigh a ton, and you can go pretty fast. So in the first game, we ram killed a T-44 from like 100 HP, so use that to your advantage. I think that the Panther 1 really helps you out. If you're good in the Panther 1, it really helps you out in the Panther 2, because the two play so very similarly. They are, in essence, the same hull. The Panther 2, historically, was a development made by the Germans to stop Soviet anti-tank rifles from penetrating its side armor. And they designed this entirely new tank, and someone said, well, hey, if we just put these armored side skirts on there, the shell will, or the bullet will fragment as soon as it hits that side skirt and will not penetrate. So they're like, okay, well, let's just do that instead. So the Panther II is never produced. I'm not sure if historically it can mount the L71 88mm gun that the Tiger II actually historically had. The Tiger I never had that gun. The reason they built the Tiger II was so that they could put that gun on something. The Tiger I had the short 88mm gun. Anyways, historical insight aside, Panther II is a really fun tank if you know its strengths and weaknesses, and despite what people say about it, I think it is one of the strongest tier 8 mediums. I also like the Centurion 1, so maybe I'm completely wrong about all this. It's up to you. Post what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more awesome tank videos. Thanks.